Hi.
Hi.
So I have two questions for you. One is, what is it that you're avoiding in your life? And the other question is, what do you want in your life or from your life?
Um, I want to just go, I don't know. They're not things that I've thought about.
Mm.
They're not things that I've spent time on. What do I want out of life? I've never, even going back to childhood, I've never had any dreams or aspirations about wanting to be or wanting to do something. I guess that's one thing that even as a young child, you ask, what do you want to do when you grow up? Not what do you want to be like or what do you want in your life? You ask them what they want to do. And
I guess the question's different then in terms of when you're a child, you're asking, the child as a worker. So you're already telling the child that they're not worth anything until they do this, do that, do that, do that. So the child, you kind of interpret that as love. I'm not lovable enough unless I do good as a worker and have a work label, whichever label that's deemed as a really good label. That's not the question I'm asking you. I'm not asking you about being a human doing. I'm asking you as a human being. I'm not asking you to be a worker because you're just a slave. That's just your slave master asking you that. Because you're going to work as a child to learn to work and be compliant as an adult, and then you're going to pay the slave master. And they're going to take all the money back off you. How are they going to do that? Well, they're going to take your tax, and then they're going to take all the things like electricity and gas that's for free. They're going to take all that, put the bills up and everything. So they're just going to take it all back off you. So you can. I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you a question outside of that ego world. What do you want? Your nature itself, your life itself. What is it that you want being here? How do you want to be in your being there?
I want to say in that case, then I've definitely never given it any thought before because I've given the doing bit thought. But I guess I'd want to say something simple, and I want to be happy, whatever that means. I'm sure it means different things to different people, but I want to feel calm. I want to feel a sense of peace. Both in my mind and in my body. I feel that I'm on alert all the time and that my mind's going all the time. And I feel that I'd like that overthinking and overanalyzing and hypervigilance to go. And I feel that that would give me peace and calm and happiness.
So you're looking for something, your wants are looking for something that you want. And are those the things equally? The answer is mixed with what you're avoiding. Would you say that?
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, because I'm just.
You're saying what you want to experience.
But then being without those things is unimaginable. And as I've said with other things, a bit far-fetched that I could be at that point where I wasn't bothered by those things or I didn't have those thoughts.
Who's the one that's bothered by the thoughts while the other one's having the thoughts? If there's only one of you in there.
That's it. It comes back to me, doesn't it? That that contradiction, that what I want is what I'm avoiding by keeping hold of the old stories, that I need them, and I can't not be hyper vigilant, because then I'm at risk. I can't not be always thinking things through, because then I'll be surprised and put in a position which I'm gonna struggle, or that I'm not gonna like, and I won't know how to get out of. So I'm stopping myself getting what I want, really.
Yeah, because what you're doing, and what we tend to do is we spend our lives being told we're not good enough until. So if we spend our lives being programmed with we're not good enough until, so we go to school to be told we're not good enough, and then each year when this is how your child's performed, the majority of you, they just need to get more confidence. They haven't got enough confidence. Well, it's because you've just kicked it out of them, because you're constantly telling them this contradictive story. If an adult can't figure it out, how can a child? So you're constantly telling children they're not good enough until, and then you're saying that they haven't got confidence. Well, why would they? The journey never ends, does it? It never ends. You've just not quite got there yet. You need to do better. You're always told you need to do better. You need to do better. And then there's like these competitions that we have against each other, that we're pitted against each other. Oh, if you get a prize, we'll do this, you can get a prize. You can be the best. You can be the winner. You can be the this. And so then within that, there's going to be losers then, because now you've just introduced something. All of it's a lie. You can't be a winner and be a loser. You can only, you're just one thing, which is a being. So you're told these lies, this never-ending chasing on this wheel. And then when you're older, you're still complying with the same program, the same lie. And you're still never going to be good enough, because it's an illusion. Like, when are you going to find good enough then? Even when you think that you've found good enough, do you really truly feel it? Apart from this fleet, oh look, I've got this qualification now, so now I'm good enough. But
and then you go on to the next thing.
Then you go on to the next thing, because you're on this never-ending, like a donkey with a noose around its head and a carrot, and you're constantly chasing it. So that's the thing that you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid not being good enough, while believing that you're not good enough.
Yeah.
So it's like this loop that you just can't get out of, this prison within your mind that you can't get out of. But when you're a being, none of it exists. Does it?
No.
So is that what you're running away from, while running towards it at the same time? I'm trying to avoid this by believing it. I'm trying to avoid a pink elephant.
Yeah.
While believing in a pink elephant.
Yeah.
And then you find it then when I ask the question, what is it that you want? I want to experience happiness. I want to experience all of what I want to experience. So you've come here to experience then, is that what you say?
Yeah.
And what is it that you'd like to experience? The wants from being a human being, I want to experience what?
I guess I want to make excuses for myself and say I might sound naive, and I just want that contentment, that calm, that.
You want to experience that?
Yeah.
You must have experienced it at some point. All of the things that we want to experience, to know that you want to experience them.
Maybe I was that young, I can't remember.
Yes, exactly. You want to go back to being the human being as you were born as, to be able to experience, because you know it exists.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know it was. I wouldn't be searching for something if I didn't know that it were possible, or that I'd experienced it.
Then why are you searching then? Because when you were born, you didn't search for anything. So why would you start to search for something that's already inside of you because you've already experienced it?
Yeah, because I'm seeing it as something out there that I've as an outside thing that I've got to get to. So I'm setting myself up for failure because I already have that ability. It's just the stories that I'm telling myself.
Therefore, you already have all the answers because
Yeah.
you've just told me them. What you've said is, in what you've told me, is that when I came here, I experienced peace. I experienced calm. I didn't have fear. And then I was told and programmed that I wasn't good enough. So I had to be a human do this, this, and this to get there. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get somewhere and trying to seek for something that I forgot was already inside of me when I was born.
Yeah, because I did have it. Not that I can remember it, but I know from stories my mum or people had said when I was a very young child, as in a baby and a toddler, I showed no fear. I would explore anything, and I was really adventurous, and I was usually covered in mud or something like that. And I wasn't hesitant. I had confidence and stuff. And then I became this person who feared everything and was frightened of everyone and everything and
Because of
never reached
what you experienced here.
Never reached that good enough. It would always, when I've done this next exam, when I've done this next test, when I've done this, when I've passed my driving test, when I've done this, I'll be all right. I can relax then. I can take the pressure off me. I can.
And what is the trouble that, from what you've said, what's caused you the trouble in you experiencing here then, from when you arrived here? Sorry, things falling off.
The fears that
Who gave you them?
I gave myself them and other people gave me them.
So if you didn't know about the fears, you had to experience something that created fear in you.
Yeah.
Okay, from people around you.
Yeah,
because you
from
weren't
the
born.
sexual abuse, but also I had a lot of negativity from school and from home life that I wasn't nice enough or good enough or could do better, could try harder.
Well, imagine that what happened then when you doing something, then they have parents' evening and you're going to be judged. So every parents' evening you're going to be judged. And based on that judgment is to manipulate the way that you behave from now on. That, oh, if I do good, if I keep doing that, I'll be accepted on this planet. So can you see how, as you know, Freud said that it's, I don't know if it was Freud that said it actually, it might have been Jung, but ultimately it's a normal reaction that we have to an abnormal situation. So we're born into insanity, as they used to call it in the 60s, an abnormal situation. And I guess that bypasses us really, because when you think, well, who are the insane people? We are. Because if we're born into something and we're reacting to it, then our reactions to what we're born into become the norm, and then somebody makes something of it. So if you say, like, for your anxiety, then because of your reactions to anxiety and fear, what's going to happen? You can get medicated for it. So we're going to normalize the abnormal, and instead of changing the abnormal, we're just going to make money off the abnormal. So that's why you come here, to be made money off. And so you have these fears from school that you must have to got to. But equally, when you're an adult, you think you're free. It's like we lose more and more freedom, don't we? Because, you know, as I said, the slave master is going to, they have different names. So it might be the taxman, you have to pay the taxman. If you don't, there's going to be a consequence. So that takes away your human rights. Because it's as before it was demanding money by menaces, and now it's, well, you're threatened, and you know, we're not going to beat you up, but we're going to take some things away from you. So that's what we do. That's what they do in slavery. And then you know, so it's that. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put make you need things, tell you that you need them, and then we're going to bill you for them. And when we bill you for them, we can put it up to whatever we want to put it up to, because everything that you earn, we're going to take it all away from you again. We're going to make you skint. Do you see what I mean? That's what we're going to do. Our purpose is to allow you to have something for a little bit of time, and we're going to take it all back off you, so you'll comply. So we can get you to work harder, do better, do this, do that, and that's what we're going to do. But you know, we'll have you jumping through hoops. We can tell you anything, and you'll believe, because you're all going to be programmed with Stockholm syndrome. So you're going to look, you know, everybody that's harmed you, like you know, you have a parent, but you still go back to them. So we're going to be like that, and you're still going to go back to us, and then we'll give you a nice solution. You might like it, yeah, and then we can own you a little bit more then, because you're never going to think for yourself. You're not going to be a being now. You're going to be a doing, and you're going to do our bidding. And so you might believe these over here, or you believe them over there. And if you get angry about what they're believing, what you believe over there, it's only because it's a threat, because you think you're safe over here. Do you see what I mean? So it's that in your, what don't I want, what am I avoiding? That's exactly what people are doing on a daily basis. I'm avoiding you because they told me I'm safe over here if I believe this. I don't, and then it might flip, it might change. Oh, you've told me about those people over there, so I'm going to hate them, and I feel safe. And if you tell me the good, I won't believe it. I'll get angry, because you're threatening my beliefs, you're threatening my safety. But what if it's all a lie? So that's what you're doing, is from what you've said, I'm avoiding discomfort and for comfort, but you don't have freedom. People don't have freedom. They're just constantly avoiding, fighting, reacting to a puppet master, and they don't have freedom. That's why when you watch the news, I don't watch the news, but when people are repeating things over and over again, I know it's in the news, because all the outlets repeat the same story to brainwash you into repeating the same story, and then you end up repeating it as well and believing them.
And they're all bad stories. They're all
Yeah,
fear stories, as
they are.
you'd say.
Yeah.
They're all inciting us to be on edge and to be anxious,
Yeah.
and to live in a state of
But there's always some,
unease and
yeah,
discomfort.
and then we'll go along with this. You know, it's like you have to be a bit cruel to be kind. I'm doing it for your good. Then you'll go along with whatever they want to do. So if they want to incite a war, you're going to be the fighters. He said, well, why don't you not fight it out? No, you're going to be the fighters, because you're the cattle. So you're going to be the fighters and come and fight for us. So we're going to make you angry. We're going to rile you up. You know, like people have dog fights. Literally, that's what we become. You're going to rile me up, and then it's like, go, and then you know, you're all going to go, and we're going to do that as well. And but we never look at who's going to benefit from our demise, from our Stockholm syndrome, because we're just going to go back and believe you and worship you and look up to you and do all these things. So that's in the avoidance. So we're always running, we're always going for peace, but somebody's telling us how to get it. You can, if you kill them, you'll get peace. If you do that, you'll get peace. Do you see what I mean? While inciting chaos at the same time. And is that what you're trying to avoid? And then what you're saying is, what do you want? Well, I want to experience peace. So I'll spend my life on a treadmill that somebody else invented, avoiding chaos. Well, how am I going to avoid it? I'll argue, I'll protest, I'll vote, I'll believe, I'll listen to what somebody else is saying.